My name is Pradeep Prakash. I've recently secured All India rank of 757 in the recently concluded civil service examination. First of all, I would like to congratulate UPSC Time for this initiative to bring in various toppers across the spectrum from across different walks of life, so as to to express their opinion and express their way of this preparation to the other fellow aspirants. So I'm very happy and grateful to be a part of this initiative and addressing few normal questions, which is common for every aspirant out there. How to start with the preparation and what are the sources of the books that we should be preparing for this preparation for the civil service examination, and how many hours that one should study for the examination. So there are multiple questions regarding this particular order. So already many toppers would have addressed most of the things which has been already asked by you. As far as the preparation of mine is considered, this is my fifth attempt, and my second mains consecutively. This is my second mains and my first interview, in fact. And my marks breakup in the mains would be 746 plus 180. So as far as the mains is considered, you already had sessions of different peoples and toppers, like who scored better than me comparatively in mains examination. I think you can go through to their videos to so as to devise a strategy of how GS should be done. And as far as my optional is considered, it is history. So in this video, I would speak about the nuances of the history optionals and how to. Yes, Sanjay. Like I'm really sorry for that. I'm not that comfortable in Hindi. So I'm trying to learn Hindi these days. So eventually I'll be able to communicate in Hindi in days coming. Please, yeah, pardon me for that. Am I audible now? Yes. So yeah, as far as the optional history is considered, I'll be dwelling upon certain aspects. And as far as the journey is considered, many of the people who can, uh, like be a part of this preparation can relate to me big time because when I attempted the examination for the very first time in 2018, so I got marks around 52 marks in prelims examination, which is almost 40 marks away from the cutoff. So most of the people, around lakhs of people, would be in that particular category without knowing what to do and like how to do it. Because this preparation is you have to start from the scratch and you have to go all the way to the final round. So what I would suggest you is like if even if you do clear prelims or do not, you may not be able to clear prelims, the right strategy for the preparation would be preparing for mains because not just me, every people who clear this examination, who know the nuances of this examination, would certainly know that the success in this examination is firmly seated on the mains examination. So interview marks determine which services you're going to get, and probably it would decide the cadre preferences to your favor. But to getting to get your name on the final list, mains examination is a very important step. So I would say one common thing which has been said by most of the people: be mains ready before prelims. That is a very common thing. And as far as the prelims is considered, the sources which I followed for prelims is that I used to follow Vision IA's monthly magazine in a very holistic and religious way. And also, I used to see Insights IA's monthly magazine for prelims examination. So, what I would suggest, to the people who are starting the preparation right now is to go through the Vision Monthly magazine in a very holistic way. Try to make notes out of it. So, some people may be comfortable in taking notes in online format. They may use some keypads or something like that. But I'm a sort of person who used A4 sheets and pen for everything, almost everything. So, you should make your own notes. And initially, when you're trying to make notes, you would end up writing everything which has been mentioned in the magazine, which is a very common thing. So don't get panicked for that. So it's very common thing for all the people. And as days pass by, like you will get to know what to read and what not to read. Because if somebody has already gone through the all the phases of the examination, comes and tell you, so you have to segregate which is required and which is not. It's going to be very difficult. So what you can do is like you should go through the process by yourself. Once you start making notes, initially you would feel like you're taking the whole set of the magazine materials. I mean, like the words and everything. It'll almost be ditto on your copy. but as you progress step by step, it would come down eventually. So this is the way for current affairs, and I haven't read, as far as the book list is considered, I haven't read any NCRTs apart from the history NCRTs for the options. So I would not say that you should not read NCRT, but it is a strategy for toppers. Many of the people who got better ranks and better marks has told that NCRT is a very must for the prelim preparation, because that's when you get the basics of every subject. So following NCRT is also a very important thing. Maybe if you are in the very early phase of the preparation, as in like if you're just starting the preparation, you can start with like from NCRTs, and you can go level by level. That would also be a good way to do about it. And as far as the test series is considered, a test series is very important, and it is a very inextricably linked to the whole part of your preparation journey as far as prelims is considered. So what you can do is, like, there are two ways to approach a test series. All the test series are available free in the market. Like it's available as free PDFs. Maybe if you can enroll to one test series on the offline or online batch, even that would be nice. It depends upon your financial level. So take what is comfortable for you. So there are two ways to look after a test series. For example, one is to uh, study in a very holistic way, attend the test series, and get to know where you're standing. For example, I used to get around 60 to 70 marks in the initial attempts, like say 2018 and 2019. In 2021 and 22, I used to get around 105 to 110 in the full length test series of vision IAs and insights or whatever it is. The marks would rise eventually. The marks would rise, but one thing is very important. One thing what should be the doable in the prelims test series is that if you make a mistake in a particular test series in a particular question, for example, if a question of a passage says Sri Lanka is the largest trading partner of India within the South Asia, the statement is wrong because Bangladesh is the largest. So what you can do is, like, instead of even if you're not able to write make that question right, you can make a note of it. Okay, like we have done error in this particular regard, so we can rectify that in the coming days. So you can make a note of this is not okay, this is what it is. This is the way of collecting and collating the facts. Once you collect the facts in a very holistic way, you will not be able to repeat the same mistake which you have committed or made in the test series, because rectifying the mistakes from the test series is the most important most important thing as far as the holistic idea of prelims, attempting a prelims test series is considered. And for the mains examination, writing is very important. You have to cover the paper in a very holistic way. You have to complete the paper. I personally believe that if you leave out many questions in the mains examination, then you are like taking yourself away from the list in a step by step manner, because the more you attempt the question, the more mark would come. For example, many of the people has told me during my course of preparation that instead of attempting two questions in a very good way, try to attempt at least three questions in a very normal way, because if you write a good answer to a particular question, it may fetch you like 7 marks out of 15 marks. For example, say it would come around like 14 marks for two questions, right? Instead, if you write a very average answer, it would be 5 into 3, it would be 15. So the 1 mark extra which you can get would make wonders in the mains examination, because in the final test you have around 14 to 15 people being on the same marks. So it's going to be very deadly in the coming, as far as the level goes up in the examination. And as far as the other things are considered, managing stress is a very important thing, because this preparation takes a whole lot of year. I think if you prepare holistically and full time for this preparation, it would take you one whole year. So in that particular case, nobody can be motivated all the time. So you have to motivate yourself. There is no other go. Like, you have to approach people. You have to to be with people who are really motivating or positive for that matter. That is very important. You have to keep your morale always that is also very important. So and as far as the history options is considered, there are certain basics books which you should be studying for history options, like be it NCRTs or be it a modern India spectrum. It will be holistically covering the aspects of prelims as well, so you can have a look at it. And also map section in the paper one. The paper one, you have uh, 50 marks for map in history options. So covering that particular map section is very important, because in 2021 I missed out on the interview call by 3 marks because I haven't attempted the map section at all because I was not prepared. I never thought that I would make it to that prelims. I was underprepared as far as the maps is considered. So it took a toll. So I worked upon that particular aspect. And this attempt, my history optional marks increased from 216, 214 to 250, which is a 42 marks increase. So that is what made me, to me to get into the service. Of course, there is still a lot of improvement from my side as well, which I'd be trying to implement in the coming years. But securing a place in the list, gives you a sort of relief because you prepare, like for a very long time, for say 5 years or 6 years. It differs in the case of different people. For example, I'm a sort of person who comes from a family like nobody has went to college. Like I'm the first graduate from a whole generation. So in that case, you never have the exposure towards the examination or what you should be doing. That itself costed me first two attempts in 2018 and 2019. I was not aware of that there is particular material called vision that you should be studying. So it's not that vision only, but you can refer to any material. But see what is comfortable for you. For example, in some materials there will be overload of facts. People used to read and try to remember every fact. At the end of the day, you'll not be able to remember anything at all. It doesn't make sense at all because on the very outlook of the examination is such that you got to recreate, you got to implement whatever you have studied. Like the more you I say those particular aspects in your answers ensures your selection in the final list. So read and revise things only which you can be able to implement in the examination, because studying 100 facts and not remembering 10 facts even, it's not a right way to go about. Even if you study 10 facts, it's fine. For example, if uh, you take the for example, education, just read one report with respect to education, ASER or Pratham, whatever it is. Like just read one report and collate a data from that particular report. If a question has been posed to you on the day of examination in the mains examination, just start with introduction saying, as far as this report is considered, these are the facts which is mentioned for the education. So that is a long way to go. And also the trend is that such that you have to connect the sustainable development goals with all the things which has been mentioned in the syllabus. As many of the people would have already know that what you can do is like you can take the printout of the syllabus of the mains examination, because I'll be talking more about mains examination because that is very important phase in this whole cycle, I believe. I'll come back to the prelims a bit later, but as far as the mains examination is considered, you can take a printout of the syllabus material. And for example, if in the syllabus you have a mention of say sustainable development goals, take a short piece of paper and write, what is sustainable development goal and what are the types of development goals. You have 17 goals, and what are the types of development goals and what are the other schemes and initiatives which have been brought by the government, tailoring to each and every development goals. For example, if a sustainable development goal is focusing upon hunger, to say a government scheme which is focused to eradicate hunger from the society. So you try to connect, because there will be multiple schemes and multiple initiatives from the government. It will be very difficult and very daunting for you to remember all. So what you can do is like you can try to make notes. For example, try to connect one scheme with one SDG and make a holistic thing and probably stick it on your wall. After a point in time, if you are very thorough with that particular scheme, you can take that away and add few more schemes, because this is how you will be able to to improvise your own preparation level. And secondly, I would like to address a few queries from the economic survey perspective, because reading economic survey is very important as far as the whole cycle of examination is considered, be it prelims or be it mains or be it an interview. You have a chance to perform or deliver well as far as the questions asked from survey is considered, because you never miss out on survey. That is what many toppers have told me, that I am also telling you, never miss out on survey, because it is a government document. You are going to be you are aspiring or you're going to be a part of the government, so you should have a firm belief on the government system. So first, repost your faith on the initiatives and scheme brought down by the government. Listen to the budget speech of the finance minister. Take notes out of it. What are the positives in the budget? Maybe if there is some negatives which you can find out in the budget, also take note of that particular thing and collate everything, because no matter what you study, unless and until you collect them, unless and until you compile them and revise them periodically, it's of no use at all. Because at the day of examination, you got to write the things which you already know. It's not that you go into examination and after seeing the paper, something is coming up to you and you're not, going to write on that particular time. So you should already be prepared of certain things. So this is the thing as far as the survey budget is considered. And addressing the introduction and conclusion part in the GS as well as in optionals is considered like, uh, for example, as I told you already, since you're making a particular note from the every keyword which is mentioned in the syllabus, try to collect a particular beautiful introduction and conclusion for the same. Most of the people, the toppers that I know personally, used to conclude the question with sustainable development goals or initiatives of the government. They try to instill a certain positive outlook to the answer, because after conclusion only the examiner is going to award you marks. So the conclusion is to be like looked after in a very good way, because introduction and conclusion forms the almost 40% of the answer. The rest 60% is what you are addressing through the course of the question. So that is the other thing. So and as far as the continuing the momentum for 4 years or 5 years is considered, it's going to be very difficult. Some people will have financial discrepancies, and other would have emotional problems, and like problem varies from person to person. But like all the toppers would have already addressed that how you should be focusing upon how you should keep yourself motivated and all. I'll try to address certain aspects which is not being talked about in a very very elaborative manner, I would say. Like the first thing that I would like to talk about is that like maintaining a relationship, like while you are preparing for examination of this sort. uh, if you are in a relationship which is very abusive, or which is very like uh, very daunting or something, if it takes whole part of your preparation, if it takes many much of your time on the daily basis, try to get out of it, because a supportive relationship is very important as far as this journey is considered, because you are going to do something which is not been aspired or done by most of the people. I'm not telling that you are doing something great than others. No, no, it's not that case. Your journey is different, because for other people they may have like leisure time in a very larger space, which you would be having in a very minimal space. So what I would firmly believe is that other than the time that you sit back and study, the remaining time has to be, complementary to the study hours. Because if you study in a very good way for 8 hours or 9 hours and spoil the leisure time with multiple thoughts which should be coming up on your mind, then that 8 hours will be nullified. So that is very important. Keep a healthy relationship, or don't be in a relationship at all. That is one thing. And secondly, the diet habits and the exercise of the body is considered. This whole preparation has the tendency to make you feel very low and very isolated, because you would have this inferiority complex, like as days passes by. For example, like I used to have a lot of inferiority complex when I was attempting my third attempt, because in my third attempt I missed the prelims cutoff by 1 mark. uh, but the thing of you not making into the list of prelims and not getting a job, or preparing full time, will make you think multiple will make you think about multiple things in your mind, so which would make you inferior, and it would like translate through words and emotions with respect to others, because that should be avoided at any cost. Try to hit the gym regularly, or try to be active person who can indulge in exercise, body exercise. Maybe you can go for a walk or run in the morning, and try to have healthy conversation with your family members. That is also very important. Even if you spend some 10 or 15 minutes with your family members, don't spend that 15 minutes complaining about the examination. Okay, this is not working, that is working. That should not be the case. Like, try to drift away from the preparation mode and try to indulge in a very light-hearted, emotionally very light conversation with the people around your family, and try to cut down your friend circle, because your friends is going to go nowhere, so they'll be here. If they are meant to be here, they will be here. So don't try to occupy yourself with all the meetings and other things which has been like highlighted by your friends. Maybe like in my personal case, I had missed many of my close friends' wedding also. I do regret about it even now. But on the outlook, if you see, like this preparation would take many things from you. If it's well and good, if you can clear in first attempt, you are a different league, and it's going to be fine. You have multiple people, who cleared civil service exam right after graduating from the college. So that is a different case altogether. I am here to talk to people who is not able to do anything in this preparation even after putting in 4 or 5 years of hard work, because I've come through a journey of that sort, where I have, like in the preparation for 6 years, like from I completed my engineering in 2016. I started preparing in 2017, so it's been almost 6 years. Technically, I prepared well in the last 3 years, and before that 3 years, I wouldn't consider it as a very good preparation. But what I would suggest to the fellow aspirants who are aspiring to do the examination, hi. So in the examination in the coming years, so you should not waste up any time initially. Uh, Try to devise a framework as soon as you get into the preparation, and follow it in a very religious way, because once you make the preparation, and once you make the trajectory right, most of the things would get like done right at the start, because planning is very important. And as far as the planning is considered, don't try to plan for a month or for a year. Okay, in this month I'm going to do that month I'm going to do that. No, that's too far fetching. Don't do that. What you can do is that instead you can make a short plan for 1 week. For example, I'm going to do this for this week, and always have this art of compensation, because after all we are humans, so we can't study like how we are planned. So something or the other may keep coming, and it would derail your preparation. For example, if you have a plan of like studying for 8 hours or 9 hours in a single day, if something is happening and you're not able to to prepare well on that particular day, what you should be doing is, it's very common for everybody. What you should be doing is, eventually you should translate that particular 2 hours to the next day and try to compensate it. Because if you can achieve 80% of your plan, I think you're doing well and good, because nobody can achieve 100%. At least 70 to 80% of your plan should be accomplished, and rest 30 can be accommodated in the next week plan. You can do that. And as far as the option is considered, uh, go through the toppest copies which is available in online. Try to invoke as many historians as possible, because for example, I'll try to take an example. For example, if you have been asked to write a question about cholas, uh, anybody can give points about cholas, right? Like anybody can give points about mauryas. But what you can do is, like, instead of saying that you are saying the point, try to invoke a particular historian name and put the blame on him. This particular historian has said it. But you should not connect historians of different time with a different dynasty. That wouldn't work. So you can try to form a framework, like which are the historians or who are the travel logs which have been written in a particular period, and try to compile it holistically. And over a period of time, it would like be memorized on your memory. So you can try to implement that in the mains examination for options. And like addressing the final phase of the preparation, 10 or 20 days before your prelims, try to reduce your study time. If you study for like say 10 hours or 8 hours, try to reduce it to 6 hours, because that is when your mind should be absolute peace or something. So that try to reduce the time as far as the as and when you get very near or closer to the examination. Try to attempt only the full length mock series. Don't try to attempt the sectional topic, because in my personal example, I used to get around 140, 150 in polity sectional, and I used to get around 40, 50 marks in geography and science sections. So that particular divergence would make you feel low, and like erode your confidence and trust in the process. So try to attempt only full length test series. If you're getting any score around 80 or 80 plus, I think you are in a right trajectory, because the test series of institute should be sort of like on a higher scale of difficulty. So don't take that very harsh, because I have seen so much of people who got around 60, 70 in the test series and went on to get 120 in the actual main prelims examination. This prelims examination has also break the the trend of eliminating the options. But the people who have firm knowledge about the basics, for example, if a person who are very strong with the basics has never flunked prelims in my case. So try to have your basics very strong. Uh, Try to revise very periodically. Try to read less and revise more. uh, Read the quantity and the content which you can revise it multiple times and which you can reiterate on the day of examination. That is very, very important. Don't, you're not, we're not here to, to get a PhD or scholar degree in any topic. Even for options is considered, don't try to read much, like, and develop an expertise, because UPSC is not asking you to be an expert. UPSC is asking you to score marks. To score marks, you have to have some sort of innocence and, like, innocence in your answer rating, because if the examiner feels that, like, he feels that, like, if you write a point which he is not aware of, maybe he'll get maybe an inferiority complex or something, maybe. So because I have personally seen people who write exceptional answers in history options was not able to get, even 220 or 230, because that's overload of facts and overload of, dwelling up of information is also not advisable. You have to have, shallow knowledge, and that particular knowledge should spread across the spectrum. Like, you should have clarity of at least, 5 to 6 points about every topic, instead of knowing one particular topic in a very depth way. Like, you should understand the topics in a very, like, touch and go way, but you should cover the almost all the topics, which is existing in the syllabus of the examination. So, and writing answers in bulletin points in options is not advisable. In on the outlook, if as far as the conversation that I had with, many people, maybe you can try out bulletin and paragraph combined together in mains examination, and GS should be written in bulletin forms. Um, so these are the things which I wanted to highlight. If anybody has any doubt, you can raise. So I don't think so. People having any doubts. I think this brings you a certain clarity about, options and the other things are considered. Uh, with this, I'm ending this session. So also go through the toppers videos in this particular channel. They You have all India rank, 2, 3, 4, and all. Have given interviews. So try to, stick to one particular topper. As far as GS is considered, there are many people who scored 420 or 440. More than 450 in GS. Try to, to join the Telegram channel of those people. There are many toppers. Mohit Gupta, Preksha Agarwal, Ishan Sinha. There are many toppers out there in Telegram. Try to follow that particular Telegram channel, and they'll help you, to do this examination in a very holistic way. Yeah, and thank you everybody. Have a good day. Thank